books we read. Where else can we see dinosaurs?
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand as we present to you the 2019 candidates for graduation from the College of Education at California State University, Long Beach. Leading the procession as our 2019 Grand Marshal is Jana Echeverria, PhD, Professor Emerita, CSULB. processional line are distinguished guests of the university and leaders from our college and university. Paul Boyd Batstone, Interim Associate Dean, College of Education. Hiromi Masunaga, Department Chair, the Advanced Studies in Education and Counseling Department. Scott Appel, Vice President for Administration and Finance. Don Haviland, Department Chair of the Educational Leadership Department. Tim Kern, Director, Single Subject Credential Program. Jessica Pandia, Department Chair, Department of Liberal Studies. Hong Nguyen, Interim Department Chair, Department of Teacher Education. Andy Fee, Director of Athletics. Marquita Granot-Tyre, Assistant Vice Chancellor, Educator Preparation and Public School Programs, California State University. Marianne Takamoto, Interim Vice President for Student Affairs. Min Yao, Vice President and Chief Information Officer. Judy Cormack, Vice Provost for Academic Programs and Dean of Graduate Studies. Laura Portnoy, Associate Dean, College of Education. Genesis Hara, President and CEO of Associated Students. Emily Lopez, College of Education Outstanding Graduate. Mark Wiley, Chief of Staff. Mary Stanton, Board of Education, Long Beach Unified School District, retired. Christopher Steinhauser, CSU Trustee and Long Beach Unified School District Superintendent. Shireen Powdry, Dean, College of Education. Brian Jersky, Provost and Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs. Jane Close Connolly, President, California State University, Long Beach. You may be seated. Last year, the university adopted a new alma mater with words and music by two students from our Bob Cole Conservatory of Music. Joining Professor Rob Freer and the CSULB Brass Ensemble in performing it now is Amanda Mello.
Scholars, artists, dreamers, all are welcome here. Maker of tomorrow's leaders, now and through the years. Love for all that came before us, in our hearts we hold. Always honor, truth, and justice, always black and gold.
President Connolly, honored guests, members of the faculty and staff, class of 2019, relatives and friends of our graduates. As Dean of the College of Education, I welcome you to the 70th Annual Commencement Ceremonies of California State University, Long Beach. On behalf of the faculty and staff in the College of Education, I extend my warm welcome and congratulations to you, the class of 2019. Commencement serves as the culmination of years of learning, of growing and developing both professionally as an educator and personally as a compassionate and reflective human being. Today is your day to celebrate a significant milestone in your academic career. This evening, you will walk across the stage having earned doctoral, specialist, master's, and bachelor's degrees and teaching and advanced credentials. There have been many people who have supported you on this educational journey. Your faculty who have challenged and pushed you to new learning, your staff who have advised you and assisted your efforts, and above all, your family, friends, and mentors who believed in you, cheered you on, and helped you to keep going. Graduates, if you would please take this moment to stand and thank everyone who made this possible. All right. Some of you are the first in your families to earn a degree or a credential. If you are the first in your family to earn these qualifications, would you please stand and be recognized? You serve as a role model for many in your community for whom you have blazed a trail. If you are a parent and have a child who is celebrating with you today, will you please stand? And kids, give your mom or dad a big hand. You should be so proud of them. And partners and family members of our graduates, please stand and be recognized as well. College of Education graduates, you are now starting a new chapter in your professional lives. You have been prepared here in the College of Education to promote equity and excellence in urban education. Your faculty, coursework, research, service, and clinical practice opportunities have taught you to be an asset-based educator. You have learned to focus on the strengths and talents, the diversity of thought and experiences of the children, youth, and adults that you will work with. You understand the importance of building relationships and solidarity with your students, clients, and their families. You have been prepared to work with the communities that you will serve, of growing deep connections and partnerships with these communities to accomplish mutual goals. Check yourself on the harmful biases and deficit thinking that you may see or hear, or may occasionally even find yourself engaging in. Your role as an educator is to impact possible futures. Class of 2019, you are now alumni of CSULB's College of Education. You are now a member of our rich and diverse Beach alumni community that is over 330,000 members strong. I invite you to remain connected with the university and remember that it is your academic home. Stay in touch with us and let us know about your ongoing accomplishments. Support our programs and please give back to the next generation of students at the beach. We need your ongoing support. On behalf of the college's faculty and staff, my warm congratulations to you, class of 2019. Go beach, go teach, go lead. At this time, I would like to recognize the Grand Marshal for the College of Education, Dr. Jana Echeverria. Dr. Jana Echeverria is a professor emerita at CSULB, where she received the university's Outstanding Professor Award. A founding researcher and creator of the PSYOP model, Dr. Echeverria has published widely on effective instruction for English learners, including those with learning disabilities. She has presented her research in the United States and internationally, including at Oxford University in England, Wits University in South Africa, Harvard and Stanford University, the University of Barcelona in Spain, and Southeast Europe University in Macedonia, where she was a Fulbright specialist. Dr. Echeverria received her PhD in education from UCLA and is a member of the California Reading Hall of Fame. Please join me again in recognizing the College of Education's 2019 Grand Marshal, Dr. Jana Echeverria. And now, to extend her congratulations, I present to you the President of California State University, Long Beach, Dr. Jane Close Connolly.
Thank you, Dean Pavary. Hello, class of 2019. First of all, congratulations to each of you on your accomplishment. I'm glad to have a few moments to speak with you today before you start a new adventure, maybe a new job, graduate school, travel, who knows? The possibilities are endless. My simple message to you today, though, is be bold. You've earned that right. You've managed the rigors of an education at the beach, and you've come to this ceremony to mark the occasion for yourselves and with your family and friends. I'm sure there were times in the past few years that you were scared, maybe even terrified about something, perhaps academic or work-related or personal. But here you are, celebrating a grand accomplishment. For some of you sitting here today, you face financial difficulties, maybe even food and housing insecurities, but you found your way through those barriers to make it to this field. You persevered. Choosing to be bold does not suggest you're never afraid or you face no difficulties. Rather, to be bold is to be persistent. Get back up when you get knocked down. Believe you have the grit to persevere in the face of any challenges and overcome them, perhaps not always perfectly, but in ways that teach you something. When you see or create an opportunity for growth, step up and step through that door. It may lead you to the next big thing in your life, or it may be a dead end, but at least you will have learned something valuable. It's trite but true to say that at a certain age, we look back and regret those paths not taken much more than the bumps in the road or mistakes we've made. Eventually, those many mistakes become good stories to tell ourselves and others about lessons learned. Yet let me emphasize that a life not lived is a waste of your gifts, and you have all proven to the world that you have gifts. So take a chance. Speak up. Explore, build, and then follow your passions. Offer help to others along the way. Seek the company of people who lift you up, but always be ready to stand alone for what you believe in. Most importantly, believe that you are prepared to do wonderful things for our world if you leap into opportunities with or without an invitation. Again, congratulations, graduates, and go Beach.
Sorry, I didn't know if there was an introduction.
Hello, class of 2019! My name is Genesis Hara, and it has been an absolute honor to serve as your Associated Students Incorporated president this past year. I am even more honored and humbled to have the opportunity to speak to all of you on this very important day. And I wanted to take this opportunity to speak about overcoming adversities while uplifting those around you. Each and every one of us have had to conquer something big in life to walk across this stage today. Many of us have overcome the hurdles that come for striving for more in a society that often forgets about students struggling with adversity. With us today, we have many first-generation college students, children of immigrants or an immigrant themselves, student parents, returning and transfer students, former foster youth, formerly incarcerated or system-impacted students, LGBTQ plus identifying students, international students, students with different abilities, undocumented students, students who have faced deep financial hardships, students of color, and students of so many different identities that make up our beach community. All of these communities come with an inevitable amount of barriers that have to be faced. And I want to commend those of you who have had to break down and navigate through those systematic barriers to get to this exact moment. We are paving the way for younger generations who think they'll never be able to succeed in higher education because of their socioeconomic status, because they're the first in their family to do so, or simply because they think they are incapable of succeeding. We are all an example of the fact that it is possible for students of historically marginalized and underrepresented communities to be at an institution like this, but most importantly, to succeed at an institution like this. As we all move on to the next chapter of our lives, I believe it is important that we always be proud of who we are and where we come from. We may enter spaces where we feel out of place or like we don't belong, but we are needed in those spaces. We are more than capable of flourishing in those spaces, and we have the entire beach community standing behind us, rooting for our success. Our generation is needed now more than ever, because so many of our communities and identities are enduring many injustices as we speak. It's up to us to show those in power that all people deserve to live in a world where their human rights, identities, and communities are valued and appreciated. But better yet, it's time for us to be in those positions of power so we can represent our communities instead of people who make decisions for us without knowing our struggles and the adversities that we have had to overcome. I am hopeful that we can do this together, all while uplifting one another and those around us so that we can continue to break down barriers and leave the world a much better place for the future generations that will follow us. To my fellow class of 2019, I wish you all the best of luck in your future endeavors, and once again, I want to thank you for allowing me to be a part of this momentous day. Congratulations, class of 2019, and go Beach!
The Long Beach Unified School District and California State University Long Beach have long established collaborations with the Adult Community Transition Program, ACT. The ACT program focuses on helping students with special needs become as independent as possible, balancing employment readiness, community integration, functional academics, and socialization skills. The students leave the program with an enhanced quality of life. Today, we recognize 4 students who will receive a Certificate of Educational Achievement. Please come forward as I call your names. Set. Melvin Dodson, Jr. Ronald Kegler III. Gustavo Perez. Yahaira Sabala. Congratulations, graduates. At this time, I would like to call to the podium CSU trustee Christopher Steinhauser. Dr. Steinhauser graduated from CSULB with a Bachelor of Arts in Liberal Studies and a multiple subject teaching credential in 1981. He earned a master's degree in education and a credential in administrative services in 1984 and received an honorary doctorate in humane letters in 2016. He is the superintendent of the Long Beach Unified School District and was the 2003 Distinguished Alumnus of the College of Education. Please welcome Dr. Steinhauser, who will present the Distinguished Alumni Award for the College of Education.
Thank you, Paul. Graduates, as you receive your degree today, you become part of a truly impressive group. The CSULB alumni family, which is more than 330,000 strong, on behalf of the CSULB alumni, I offer my sincere congratulations, and may the beach be with you forever and throughout your life. And now it's my pleasure to introduce the distinguished alumna, Mary Stanton, and I've been fortunate to know Mary for over 30 years. She earned her bachelor's in elementary education with a concentration in music education in 1965 and has been dedicated to the development of our school system ever since. Mary retired in 2014 as an elected member of the Long Beach Unified School District's Board of Education, becoming the longest tenured board member in its history, serving for 24 years. During Mary's 6 terms on the school board, Long Beach Unified received extensive national recognition for improving student achievement, including during very lean times. Mary chaired the school site committee, which developed the magnet program at Los Cerritos Elementary School, saving the school from closure. She worked to combat classroom overcrowding, fought to preserve instrumental and vocal music in all of our elementary and middle schools, and made protection of the arts in Long Beach a top priority. Several new schools were built during Mary's tenure on the board. She was the first in her family to graduate from college, so she knows how excited all of you are today. Mary, please come forward and accept the Distinguished Alumna Award and say a few words.
Thank you, Chris. And for all of you aspiring superintendents out there, a school board member has 2 tasks. One is to set policy, and the other is to assign or hire a superintendent. And it was my privilege to hire Chris as our superintendent. And I hope you all get jobs in Long Beach. Okay. Congratulations, graduates. To quote from Dr. Seuss, "Today is your day. You're off to great places. You're off and away. You have chosen to be part of a wonderful profession where you will never be bored. There will always be a new challenge. You will have days when you will be frustrated thinking that nothing is working. You will try something new or ask a mentor for help. With guidance and support, you try again for that aha moment and success. Education is people-centered. You will make wonderful friends wherever you go. Like many of you, I had a vast array of jobs during high school and college. I sold tires at May Company, packed candy at C's, and was a summer camp counselor, to list just a few. But it was one summer when I was working a cash register at Disneyland, ringing up stuffed bell peppers and hearing a group singing "I Left My Heart in San Francisco," plus working for minimum wage, that convinced me the value of a college degree. As a teacher, you are in charge. The work is hard, but you can make a difference in a child's life. It may take years before you realize this, but trust me, it will happen. That realization will make all the hard work and long hours worth it. I could never have imagined on graduation day back in 1965 that my life would take this many twists and turns. I urge every one of you to take risks and push yourself. Raise your hand and say, yes, I would love to take on that challenge. You never know what lies ahead unless you try. So once again, enjoy today, for you have many adventures ahead of you, and oh, the places you will go. Go Beach.
President Connolly, Dean Poveri, distinguished faculty, friends, and family, and fellow members of the class of 2019. Congratulations, we've made it. It is a great honor to be before you today. As you are preparing to enter our careers in the field of education, it is crucial that we acknowledge the reality that our current systems are in and how we can affect transformative change. No matter what positions we are stepping into, we will be going into teams that will reflect diverse range of views and experiences. We are playing a central role in the development of young people's lives, and we must be prepared to become intentional and impactful in our approach. One of the most significant aspects of our field is the development of authentic and genuine relationships. We all got to where we are because of relationships that allowed us to see the growth and potential inside of us. These are meaningful relationships that are focused on the cognitive, emotional, and social well-being of our youth. This also involves focusing on wellness checks, making sure we are checking in to see that the most basic needs are met first so that we know that their foundation is strong. We need to be prepared to start at zero with each student because you never know where that student lies in Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Students are often expected to come into the door, sit up straight, and be ready to learn, think, and create everything under the sun of Bloom's taxonomy. But how can they get to these higher cognitive skills when the basic skills are not met first? Let us learn to take care of Maslow's before we can take care of Bloom's. We must bring empathy and understanding in these relationships that we foster. And this goes beyond the youth and even with adults around us. These type of relationships can transform the culture of a school. When we focus on building a foundation of authentic care, everything else will follow. All learners will be more engaged and equipped to take on the rigor in and out of the classroom. As we move forward, let us not forget that these authentic relationships in education will help open minds to inquiry and imagination while making sense of their experience, to use knowledge for their own ends, and to never stop learning. Anything they do for you will translate into everything they will do for themselves. And this is where the road to self-actualization begins, that will result in a lifelong learner. In these relationships, we will find the resilience to continue working towards an equitable education system. One where all learners feel valued and where they are equipped to learn and grow, all while having caring adults to guide them along the way through their journey. Let us never forget that the genuine commitment we will begin to the strong development of the learners who will help shape our future. Thank you.
Good evening. It's my privilege to recognize our graduating students who have earned special distinctions. If you would please stand as I call your name. Audience, if you would please hold your applause until I've called the names of all of our distinguished student awardees. Outstanding graduate, Emily Lopez, BA Liberal Studies. Outstanding graduate in Liberal Studies, Diana De La Rosa, BA Liberal Studies. Graduate Dean's List. Margaret Bristow, MA, Educational Administration. Amanda Garcia, MS, Student Development and Higher Education. Ana Karen Garcia Villando, MA, Social and Cultural Analysis of Education. Tina Hu, MA, Curriculum and Instruction. Regina Ip, Educational Technology and Media Leadership. Lisbeth Maldonado, MS, Student Development in Higher Education. Lorena M. Ortega, MA, Social and Cultural Analysis of Education. Munachisa Oseseoma, MS, School Counseling. Tu An Fan, EDS, School Psychology. Victoria Quinto, EDS, School Psychology. Outstanding Advanced Credential Student, Enrique Felix, Preliminary Administrative Services Credential. Outstanding Initial Credential Student, Ashley Glenisk, Multiple Subject Credential. And Outstanding Thesis Award, Anna Funhameder, MS Marriage and Family Therapy. Congratulations to all of our distinguished awardees. And now we have reached the time for the presentation of the candidates. We ask that students return to their seats after being presented on the stage and stay for the entire ceremony in order to be respectful to your fellow students. As Associate Dean of Graduate Studies, I have the honor of conducting the presentation of the candidates for the doctoral degrees. Professors Angela Locks, Erin Bolkino, Bettina Shea, Kara Richards Tudor, Charles Slater, Shin Lee, James Scott, Jonathan O'Brien, Avery Olson, Leslie Reese, Lindsay Perez Huber, Nat Hansuvada, Shamitris Davis, and William Vega will hood the EDD students from the College of Education's EDD and Educational Leadership Program. Readers will announce the candidates. Will the doctoral candidates please come forward?
David Mosley Booz. Mark C. Fields. Dr. Jenny Jacobs. Tashiana Bryant Myrick. Tasha Iglesias. Edgar Cartagena. Nancy Ruvalcaba. Wendy Rebecca Chavez Noguera. Leo Bihildo Cota. Chalise Norman. Carla Renee Martinez. Theodora Papacristo. Jessica Martinez. Oluwakemi Mustafa. Connie Moreno Yamashiro. Saraxa Norng Anglis. Angela Carter Rodriguez. Melissa Allen Ann Norbaum. Doug Soliday. Julie Sparks. Sharice Williams Robinson.
Will the candidates for the doctoral degree please stand? President Connolly, these candidates have satisfactorily completed all of the requirements for the Doctor of Education degree and have been approved by the faculty to receive their degrees.
How can I do that? Candidates, you've been recommended to me by the Provost and Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs and by your Dean and by your distinguished faculty. Therefore, by the authority vested in me by the Chancellor and the Board of Trustees of the California State University, I confer upon each of you who has fulfilled all requirements the degree of Doctor of Education with all the rights and privileges pertaining thereto. Congratulations, and you may be seated.
And now the master's degree candidates. Will the first row of candidates for master's degree please come, stand, and come forward under the direction of the faculty marshals.
Maria Amesqua.
Brandy Wilson.
Erica Barroso Ramos.
Pablo Palacios.
Jennifer Ventura.
Nor Altoma.
Jenny Elizabeth Frankie.
Amanda Garcia.
Margaret Lee Bristow.
Jeffrey Cabanez.
Ana Cecilia Gonzalez.
Christopher Gabadine.
Darlene Bopa Lee Wang.
Michael J. Galicinao Espy.
Matthew Cody Clinton.
Joe Luis Hernandez.
Carolyn Powell.
Macleet Molla.
Nicholas McHatton.
Joseph Jimenez.
Megan Lindsay Petrick.
Kristen Lynn Payne.
Evian Rose Estrada.
Paige Lauren Henley.
Jose Luis Sanchez.
Teresa Sao.
Jillian Torres.
Lisbeth Maldonado Apaez.
Ashley Gibson.
Jorge Rios.
Brisenia Ayala.
Amir Hussein Talegani Nia.
Aridai Martinez.
Kenneth M. Lee.
Hugh Lay.
Catherine Moselle Hummel.
Ni Nguyen.
Teresa Hikita.
Anna Asanidze.
Rosario Baena Esparza.
Ashley Cordy Spillman Becerra.
Julie Ann Vermillion.
Jasmine Medrano.
Enrique Felix. Yeah. Tara Cook Davis.
Kolini Fupuleani To'ol Malatai Coleman.
Terrell Golden Sr.
Jamaica Taylor Carter.
Dan Hirschberg.
April Van Lichten.
Guadalupe Ulloa.
Jessica Ann Avalos.
Rebecca Hutzel.
Ana Garcia Viapando.
Meta Dempster.
Katie Terry.
Stephanie Crisostomo.
Lorena Manuela Ortega.
Mary Lou Cairns.
Tuan Fan.
Courtney Garcia.
Victoria Quinto.
Caitlin Redrow.
Haley Washington.
J.R. Small.
Athena Padilla.
Nikki Sanchez.
Reed Hebert.
Stephanie Gast.
Julia Chanes.
Megan Amato.
Elizabeth Borders.
Amaris Baker.
Crystal Bernice Mackey.
Michaela Lacey.
Janelle Fragoso.
Latiana Emberet Williams.
Tanya Pena.
Christine McLarty.
Catalina Gutierrez Macias.
Noemi Vega.
Lanvi Swen Nguyen.
Christina Suck.
Lauren McGoldrick.
Jody Shirtliff.
Freddie Vidales.
Eileen Gonzalez.
Carla Zuniga Lara.
Sarah Bowling.
Edlene Simental.
Monique Bartichek.
Itzel Garcia Sarmeño.
Carly Juarez.
Evelyn Ramirez.
Christina Avila.
Dejane Williams.
Diana Perez.
Andres Guardado.
Ingrid Corrales.
Karina Adra.
Ingrid Fossbrotten.
Angie Cuevas.
Mary Marin.
Kelly Fujimoto.
Aurora Valdez.
Kaylee Hayakawa.
Andrea Kramer.
Chanel Green.
Gabriela Monterosa Ibarra.
Taylor Din.
Emily Culver.
Jamie Schnabliger.
Cecilia Lopez Saucedo.
Shoshana Cerritos.
Christine Malasarte.
Terna Dagigian.
Regina Ip.
Emily Ewart.
Shraddha Kapadia.
Megan Mestanza.
Sherry Hong.
Kiana Pinowin.
Ana Marie Badua.
Alyssa Benuelos.
Vanessa Evelyn Vosberg.
Jessica Snyder.
Andrea Mejia.
Erin Antes.
Ria Estoya.
Aaron Andrew Arvalos.
Nick Komnoy Somsavan.
Courtney Ray Morgan.
Jason Rossi.
Cassandra Elizabeth Becerra.
Eric Duane.
Kyle Taylor.
Catherine Sumners.
Matt Harden.
Eris Ann Buenafe Gallego.
Aurora Rivera.
Sandy Lopez Figueroa.
Jasmine Pina.
Eileen A. Gonzalez.
Marisa Vargas.
Michelle Lago Marcino.
Jackie Madrid.
Felicia Miller.
Kelly Fresenius Boyce.
Devin Wilson.
Amanda Mayberry.
Jessica Rains.
Gliselda Nunez.
Lindsay Yoshimoto.
Lieta Leah Streke.
Lucia Mata.
Yesenia Villarreal.
Paul Flores.
Tae Okuda.
Andrea K. Glenn.
Audrey Huang.
Sandra Cecilia Gutierrez.
Ashley Harrell.
Christine Su Piping Bradfield.
Brenda Avalos.
Christina Cox.
John Carlo Napolin.
Tori Frapwell.
Cassandra Frapwell.
Joseph Wilson Streitfeld.
Tina Hu.
Yuritsi Mendoza.
Amber Legendary Bronder.
Nicolette Petrie.
Christina Marie Vasquez.
Berenice Solis.
Jennifer Chavez Ton.
Stephanie Garcia.
Nancy Flores Vivanco.
Maria Jacqueline Hernandez.
Kimberly Murphy.
Hee Kyung Kang.
Elizabeth Ramirez Pulido.
Kathleen Van Tran.
Monica Rodriguez.
Leia Malani Abello.
Danielle Cabrera.
Adriana Renteria.
Brittany Martin.
Adriana Salgado.
Patricia Roberts.
Cristina Flores.
Vanessa Claudia Milenka Torres Barroso.
Hannah Thompson. Andrea Neria. Meredith Lorick. Terry Moreno. Carrie Summer Harpham. Christina Elise Laney.
Will the candidates for master's degrees please stand? President Connolly, these candidates have satisfactorily completed all of the requirements for their respective degrees and have been approved by the faculty to receive their degrees.
Candidates, you have been recommended to me by the Provost and Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs, and by your Dean and by your distinguished faculty. Therefore, by the authority vested in me by the Chancellor and the Board of Trustees of the California State University, I confer upon each of you who has fulfilled all requirements the appropriate master's degree with all the rights and privileges pertaining thereto. Congratulations. You may be seated.
Today, we also honor those students who already have degrees and have returned to complete credential programs. Will the first row of candidates for credentials please stand and come forward under the direction of the faculty marshals?
Antonio Choice.
So I know Miss Jane Connolly very well.
Erica Sears.
Francie Ayala Murillo.
Amanda Hanson Gates.
Rebecca Bodie.
Audrey Rigg.
Ashley Gutierrez.
Jonah Lynn Smith Haynes.
Beatriz Quinteros Rosales.
Olivia Ritchie.
Maricela Valdivieso.
Edgar Ramon Flores.
Marco Uriel Silva.
Alberto Zaragoza II.
Mai Nguyen.
Nicholas Quesada.
Javier Rodriguez.
Marlene Romero.
Matt Ernest.
Leslie Alejandra Cárdenas.
Wendy Gonzalez.
Stephanie Santoyo.
Frank Yu.
Christian Carranza.
Claudia Delgado.
Danielle Cram.
Stephen Yushi Navis.
Caitlin Flora.
Elena Zenmiao Fan.
Gloria Contreras.
Stephanie Rivera.
Christian Vincent Monteroso.
Kaylee Norris.
Saya Dorich.
Crystal Ziemdorf.
Brittany Robles.
Beatriz Mariel Martinez.
Angelica Banuelos.
Jennifer Sue Harrison.
Lindsay Johnston.
Samantha Rose Lucero.
Hannah Morrow.
Allison Angelich.
Sarah Verbeek.
Ariana Chavez.
Emily Himes.
Jasmine Maldonado.
Carly Gaston.
Christine Ibrahim.
Alexis Smith.
Julia Marie Maldonado.
Teresa Amaya. Priscilla Serda.
Emily Madewell Coutant.
Christopher William Cruz.
Stephanie Velasco.
Mayra Lara.
Candice Van Otterloo.
Brittany Ferrier.
Cindy Galvan Rodriguez.
Tawny Garner.
Melissa McCauley.
Irene Kang.
Samantha Morris.
Alexandra Noel Katigbak.
Yasmin Alismar.
Isabel Soto.
Ricardo Herrera.
Amaris K. Dennison.
Sergio Contreras.
Roxana Janet Flores.
Jasmine Angulo.
Ashley Dawn Marie Glenesk.
Hilda Lupita Gonzalez.
Raúl Campos.
Gio Hernandez.
Bethany Garcia.
Ryan Emil Lindroth.
Sarah McGuire.
Jessica Renee Ellertson.
Rocio Moreno.
Ashley Lauren Newman.
Genesis Guadalupe Rivera.
Myra Alexandra Yepes.
Xiao Leo.
Mark Lopez.
Marisol Marquez.
Patrick Charisma.
Marissa Hoffman.
Olga Gonzalez.
Crystal Elise Moreno.
Adriana Gamboa. Maribel Orozco. Victor Garcia. Christian Rhodes. Michelle Molina. Jenny Hernandez. Weiyu Chai.
Will the candidates for credentials please stand? President Connolly, these candidates have satisfactorily completed all requirements for their credentials and have been approved to receive their credentials.
Candidates, you've been recommended to me by the Provost and Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs, and by your Dean and by your distinguished faculty. Therefore, by the authority vested in me by the Chancellor and the Board of Trustees of the California State University, I recommend for each of you the credential appropriate to your program of study. Congratulations. You may be seated.
The final group of students we present today are candidates for the bachelor's degree in liberal studies. These include students completing the Integrated Teacher Education Program, the ITEP program, which consists of both the bachelor's degree and the multiple subject teaching credential, as well as students completing the bachelor's degree in liberal studies. Also included are students in the UTeach program, over there, and students in the Urban Dual Credential program, over there. Will the first row of candidates please stand and come forward under the direction of the faculty marshals?
Monica Ruby Esparza.
Brianna Castañeda.
Amy Celeste Sarabia.
Mezgan Nair.
Gabriela Juarez.
Susan Varga Sabo.
Esmeralda Martinez.
Jennifer Perez Santa Maria.
Monica Hurtado.
Vanessa Cárdenas.
Andrea Abeta.
Crystal Tello.
Elizabeth Groneveld.
Roberta Vu.
Penelope Macias.
Elizabeth Winson.
Courtney O'Connor.
Anise Huck.
Christy Izaguirre.
Kendra Reed Quimby.
Cecilia Suarez.
Corette Ruelas.
Corinne Marcus.
Jacqueline Ruiz.
Daisy Liao.
Cynthia Vargas.
Jeannie Kim.
Lilia Lutz.
Victoria Wu.
Amalia Gonzalez.
Scott Allen Morris.
Amy Lemlin.
Karen Dueñas Granados.
Hector Ramirez.
Jessica Schaefer.
Gabrielle Harmony Zavala.
Lizette Ramiro Rodriguez.
Eric Perez.
Diana Janet Jimenez.
Caitlin McGranahan.
Edward Jesus Gonzalez.
Stephanie Romero.
Hanan Mansour.
Sonia Lopez Flores.
Kendra Ross.
Christy Smolinski Kawabi.
Diana Garcia.
Kara Morales.
Kimberly Crystal Cortez.
Catherine Campagna.
Jocelyn Martinez.
Edith Verula.
Selena Marie Stromberg.
Alejandra Salazar.
Liliana Lorena Garcia.
Cecilia Medina.
Esaú Perez.
Diana De La Rosa.
Andrea Catalina Flores.
Bianca Hernandez.
Liam Neglia.
Brittany Sang.
Stefan Tran.
Patricia Alcantara.
Erica Abrina.
CL Lee.
Araceli Gastrum Lopez.
Samantha Newlin.
Esteban Banda.
Kylie Keiko Oshiro.
Alan Gabriel Lopez.
Milagros de Jesus Herrera González.
Kristen Navarro.
Isabel Gutierrez Cortez.
Solangel Valencia Castro.
Lauren Cross.
Precious Zaragoza.
Laura Bethany Hill.
Heidi Macias.
Lupe Cielo Medina.
Kevin DeSandro.
Juan Bui.
Julia Paulos.
Teresa No.
Jennifer Wright.
Carla Melissa Guillen.
Tessa Karsner.
Kimberly Sandoval.
Kathleen Smale.
Courtney Wolf Cornell.
Emily Lopez.
V. Tran.
Kenosha Hawkins.
Tyler Vu.
Rena Patel.
Sarah Rowland.
Bailey Ann Spillane.
Ashley G. Min Park.
Tori Gogui.
Victoria Buddha.
Tonya Orissa Trent.
Ariel Bruss.
Heather DeCare.
Bexy Garcia Zapatero.
Catherine Size.
Melanie Romanelli.
Mattie Wright Brown.
Taylor Gutierrez.
Sonia Monroy Salazar.
Cameron Saito.
Ashley Stewart.
Joyce Lee.
Patrick Jackson.
Georgina Carriola.
Brandy Hoffman.
Ryan Pumilia.
Haley Nicole Calkin.
Daria Ordabadi.
Tracy Koo.
Ashley Ann O'Day.
Sandra Luz Vizcaíno.
Danielle Sun.
Heather McGillis.
Delane Souza.
Clarendon Chow.
Carmen Rivera.
Annalie Marquez.
Carla Natalia Barba.
Jocelyn Lemus.
Mayra Zaragoza Vega.
Samantha E. Lopez.
Mónica Estrada.
Rocio Andrea Manzano.
Sindel Bucio.
Anna Wardell.
Alexandria Hamrick.
Natalie Julia Audi.
Dulce Solano Morales.
Alexandra Clinton.
Jessica Bugarin.
Bailey Johnson.
Vanessa Gutierrez.
Kaylin Lee.
Beverly Cruz Garcia.
Kathy Mai.
Tahira Dean.
Courtney Edwardson.
Jennifer Garrett.
Tessa Silva.
Killian Turley.
Lucia Hernandez.
Desiree Ariana Aguirre.
Christina Cuevas.
Sophia Gittleman.
Alexandra Rozak.
Rachel Reeves.
Jasmine Acosta.
Aliana O'Neill.
Yaneth Wache.
Rachel Bulmer.
Valeria Moreno Limon.
Desiree Daisy Diaz.
Daniela Vasquez.
Fabiola Lascano.
Maria Chavez Paniagua.
Gabriela Ochoa Hernández.
Yesenia Miguel.
Jocelyn Tolama.
Noreli Nava.
Kim Doe.
Jacqueline Melgar.
Quinny Nguyen.
James Pollard.
Yvonne Kwansi.
Sabrina Montano.
Carolyn Mendez.
Monica Sotorios.
Marissa Preciado.
Gladys Cortez.
Rebecca Bybee.
Nicole Rose Wolf.
Dalina Ramos.
Jacqueline Santiago.
Natalie Arndt.
Esther Choi.
Ashley Lopez.
Mari Carmen Hernandez.
Brenda Gonzalez.
Karen Juanosto.
Vanessa Pisano. Evelia Alejandra Alvarez. Stephanie Flores. Shanna Leahy. Steffi Marie Lau Rubio. Megan Kinder. Emily Waybright. Serena Marie Flores. Alina Argot. Michelle Belcher. Eunice Cho. Marianne Yoshida. Selena Lasaldi. Natalie Nicole Lopez. Amanda Ambroff. Taylor Woolfield. Lauren Rand. Amy Tran. Mackenzie Scharf. Paige Croft. Lexi McWhorter. Daphne Norris. K.C. Gilstrap. Jennifer Hiron. Josh Davis. Jose Hernandez. Wafia Adat. Shazia Jindani. Chanel Evans. Maria Delgado. Zaira Avila. Vanessa Ramirez. Lucila Alvarado. Amanda Lucille Escobedo. Cassandra Shipley. Jessica Hien. Audrey Barsatti. Taylor Winters. The final card. Adriana Barroso.
Will the candidates for the bachelor's degree in liberal studies please stand? President Connolly, these candidates have satisfactorily completed all requirements for their degree and have been approved by their faculty to receive the baccalaureate degree in liberal studies.
Candidates, you've been recommended to me by the Provost and Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs, by your Dean, and by your distinguished faculty. Therefore, by the authority vested in me by the Chancellor and the Board of Trustees of the California State University, I confer upon each of you who has fulfilled the requirements the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Liberal Studies with all the rights and privileges pertaining thereto. For those who have also completed credentials, I recommend for each of you the credential appropriate to your program of study. Baccalaureate graduates, you may now move your tassel to the left side of your cap. This signifies the completion of your undergraduate degree. Congratulations, you may be seated.
Thank you, President Connolly. Yes. And congratulations to each and every graduate. At this time, I would like to recognize the University Brass Choir. The Brass Choir is a select group of musicians directed by Professor Robert Freer. Thank you for your accompaniment. I would also like to recognize our readers today, Roberto Alcaraz and Jamison Price. Thank you. We ask that you please remain seated until the recessional has been completed. Let the recessional begin.
So astronomers were not expecting this. A few mathematicians